Welcome, dedicated learners, to the English Insider channel. Today, I will share a perspective that will fundamentally reshape your approach to learning English. I urge you to listen with intent, as the concepts I'm about to discuss have the power to transform your journey from one of struggle to one of confident, fluent expression. Let me state this unequivocally. Achieving English fluency is not an insurmountable goal. It is far less difficult than you might perceive. Yes, you are capable of speaking English fluently, and I assure you, it can be accomplished more rapidly than you imagine. I am aware that many of you experience anxiety when it comes to speaking. Some of you hesitate, find yourselves unable to articulate your thoughts, or worse, avoid speaking altogether for fear of making mistakes. Perhaps you have been studying English for years yet feel your spoken ability doesn't reflect your knowledge. You comprehend the vocabulary and grammar in writing, but when it is time to speak, your mind feels blocked. I understand this experience completely, as I have navigated it myself. Acquiring a new language presents challenges. I recognize the feeling of wanting to speak but lacking the precise words, and the frustration of being unable to follow rapid, natural conversation. However, today marks a shift in your approach. The struggle can end now. You do not have to remain stuck, fearful, or overwhelmed. Today, I will teach you how to learn English through the most intuitive and natural method possible. I want you to conceive of English not merely as a subject to be studied, but as a language to be lived. The foundational mindset English should not be confined to grammar textbooks or vocabulary lists. It should be an integral part of your daily auditory, cognitive, and spoken experience. You are capable of this. Let's begin with your foundational framework, your mindset. The primary and most critical step is to adjust your mindset. If you believe English is difficult, your brain will maintain a state of resistance. Conversely, if you convince yourself that English is accessible, your brain will become more receptive to learning. Mistakes are not just acceptable. They are a crucial part of the acquisition process. Recall when you learned to walk. You fell countless times, yet you did not cease your efforts. You persisted, and eventually, walking became an unconscious competence. This is a direct parallel to learning English. Do not focus on perfection. Focus on consistent practice. If you are not making mistakes, you are not pushing your boundaries and therefore not truly learning. I want you to adopt this affirmation. English is accessible. I am capable of speaking it. I am improving every day. Repeat this, believe it, and you will initiate a significant shift in how your brain processes the language. Your confidence will grow, and you will find yourself becoming more at ease with English. This mental adjustment is your powerful first step toward making the entire learning process more manageable. Creating an immersive environment with your mindset aligned, we proceed to step 2, surrounding yourself with English daily. It is a common myth that fluency requires living in an Anglophone country. You can, in fact, engineer an English-speaking environment from anywhere. You do not need to travel, be surrounded by native speakers, or enroll in expensive courses. You simply need to integrate English into your daily routines. Here are some practical methods. Change your phone's primary language to English. Every interaction, checking messages, browse social media, reading notifications, will reinforce the language. Start thinking in English. Currently, you likely think in your native language and then translate. This process is slow and creates awkward speech patterns. Instead, begin to form your thoughts directly in English. Start with simple, descriptive thoughts. I am getting up, I am brushing my teeth, I need to go to the supermarket. This practice will gradually train your brain to operate in English without the intermediate step of translation. Engage in conversations with yourself in English, perhaps in front of a mirror. This is an excellent method for practicing without the pressure of being judged. Ask and answer your own questions aloud to improve both fluency and pronunciation. Use small labels to name objects around your home in English. Each time you see an object, say its name aloud. This makes English a tangible part of your physical world. For instance, when you see the refrigerator, say, "This is a refrigerator. I keep food inside it." These minor adjustments create a powerful, immersive effect. A new approach to grammar lets address a common barrier: grammar. Many learners believe they must master every grammar rule before they can speak. This is a significant misconception. Focusing too heavily on grammar fosters a fear of mistakes, and this fear paralyzes confident speech. Consider the natural language acquisition model of children. They do not begin by memorizing grammatical rules. They listen, imitate, and gradually form sentences. This should be your model. Concentrate on communicative competence first. Grammatical precision will develop over time. Start with simple sentence structures like, "I am eating," or "She is going to the market," and repeat them until they become automatic. You will naturally progress to more complex structures as your comfort level increases. The key is repetition, daily practice and application. Now that we've created an immersive environment, it's time to actively speak. Every action you perform can be described in English, making practice a natural part of your routine. When you wake up, say, "Good morning. I feel great today." While preparing breakfast, narrate your actions. "I am making tea. This tea smells wonderful." When shopping, engage in simple commercial exchanges. "Excuse me, do you have fresh tomatoes?" Or, "How much is this?" With friends, use casual English. "Hey, how's it going? Want to hang out today?" Start having simple, everyday conversations. The key is consistent, low-stakes practice. Do not be deterred by errors. The goal is to keep speaking. Refining your pronunciation here is a powerful technique for achieving fluency. Listen and repeat. When you encounter a new sentence, do not just seek to understand its meaning. Say it aloud. Replicate the pronunciation, the tone, and the rhythm. This practice, often called shadowing, is critical for developing a more natural cadence. Another crucial tip is to speak slowly and clearly. Many learners mistakenly believe that speaking quickly equates to fluency. In reality, it often leads to unclear speech. Deliberate, clear speech commands attention. Additionally, record your own voice and compare it to that of native speakers. This self-assessment will help you identify specific areas for improvement. Fear is your single greatest obstacle, but it can be overcome with a simple tool, the 3-second rule. When an opportunity to speak arises, give yourself 3 seconds, and then simply begin. Do not overthink. The more you implement this rule, the more you will build the habit of confident action. Remember, errors are not a reflection of your ability but a sign of your effort. Finally, we arrive at the ultimate key to fluency: thinking directly in English. As mentioned, translating from your native language slows you down. To eliminate this delay, you must train your brain to formulate thoughts in English. Start simply. When you wake up, mentally label your surroundings in English: bed, pillow, window. Progress to simple sentences: I am brushing my teeth, the weather is nice today. The more you practice this internal monologue, the more speaking will feel like a natural extension of your thoughts. You now have the tools needed to speak English confidently. The only thing standing between you and your success is hesitation. But you now know how to overcome it. English is not difficult. The more you practice, the more you will improve. Never give up. Let's now address pronunciation with greater detail. Effective pronunciation is not about eliminating your accent. It is about clarity, intelligibility, and the confidence that comes with being understood. The foundation of clear speech is accurate listening. You must train your ear to recognize the nuances of English prosody, its intonation, rhythm, and stress patterns. Choose a source like a podcast or video with native speakers. Listen actively. Pay close attention to the musicality of the language, the rise and fall of the speaker's voice, their pacing, and which words they emphasize. After listening to a sentence, pause and repeat it. Mimic not just the words but the entire sonic profile, the tone, pitch, and rhythm. Repeat this process until you sound more natural. By consistently listening and imitating, you will train your mouth and brain to produce English sounds more naturally. Resist the urge to speak quickly. Rushing leads to slurred words and mispronunciation. Speaking slowly and deliberately gives you the cognitive space to form sounds correctly. Break down multisyllabic words, like unbelief, and practice them piece by piece. Speaking slowly doesn't mean speaking like a robot, it means giving each sound the attention it deserves so you can be clearly understood. English contains sounds that may not exist in your native language. Identify these difficult sounds and target them with focused practice. The th sound. For this, the tip of your tongue should gently touch the back of your upper teeth. Practice with words like think and this. The r sound, the English r, is produced by pulling the body of the tongue back, without the tip touching the roof of your mouth. Practice with red, car, and better. The L and R distinction. For the L sound, the tip of your tongue makes firm contact behind your upper teeth. For the R sound, the tongue pulls back and does not make contact. Practice contrasting pairs like lake and rake. Tongue twisters are phonetic exercises that improve your articulatory agility. They train your mouth to handle difficult sound combinations. Here are a few examples. She sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Start by saying them slowly, then gradually increase your speed as you become more comfortable. English is a stress-timed language. This means the rhythm is determined by stressed syllables. In multi-syllable words, one syllable receives primary stress. In a sentence, content words like nouns, main verbs, and adjectives are typically stressed, while function words like prepositions and articles are spoken more quickly. For example, I want to go to the store. In this sentence, want and store are stressed. Listen for this rhythm in native speech and replicate it. Recording yourself is one of the most effective diagnostic tools. It provides objective feedback on your pronunciation. Listen to your recordings, compare them to a native speaker's model, and identify specific areas for targeted practice. Improving your pronunciation takes time, but it's worth it. The more you practice, the more natural you will sound. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about being understood. Strategies for building vocabulary. Now we're going to dive into one of the most exciting aspects of learning English: vocabulary. Building a strong vocabulary is essential if you want to express yourself more clearly and speak confidently. I know many of you feel that learning vocabulary can be overwhelming. There are so many words, and sometimes it feels like no matter how many you learn, you still forget them. But don't worry, with the right strategies, you can learn new words quickly and start using them naturally. The first and most natural way to learn new vocabulary is through reading. Reading exposes you to new words in context, helping you understand how they are used. Don't just read to understand, read actively. Pay attention to unfamiliar words. When you come across a new word, don't just skip it. Read a variety of materials, books, articles, blogs, even social media posts. Pick materials that interest you so reading doesn't feel like a chore. Highlight or underline unfamiliar words. Look up the meaning of the word. Use a dictionary to check the meaning, but also check how it's used in context. Many online dictionaries provide example sentences. Practice writing the new word down. Write a sentence using the word you've learned to reinforce it in your memory. For example, if you come across the word serendipity, which means finding something good without looking for it, write a sentence like this: I found my favorite book by pure serendipity while cleaning the attic. By reading regularly, you'll learn new words and improve your understanding of how words are used. One of the oldest but most effective methods to learn vocabulary is using flashcards. Flashcards help reinforce words and their meanings by engaging your memory. Write the word on one side of the card and its meaning or a sentence on the other. For example, word, serendipity. Meaning, a happy accident. Sentence, it was pure serendipity that I found the perfect gift. Review your flashcards regularly. Repetition is key to memorizing new vocabulary. Use apps like Anki or Quizlet, or traditional paper flashcards. You can even add pictures to help you remember the meaning of a word more easily. By consistently using flashcards, you're reinforcing the words in your long-term memory. Another effective strategy is to learn words in groups or related themes. Instead of learning isolated words, grouping them together based on their meaning will make it easier to remember them. For example, emotions: happy, sad, angry, frustrated. Travel vocabulary: flight, passport, suitcase, destination. Business vocabulary: meeting, presentation, deadline, negotiation. By learning words in context, you will be able to recall them more easily. Pick a theme each week, such as travel or food, and focus on learning 10 to 15 words related to that theme. Create mini lists of verbs, adjectives, and nouns. This method will help you build your vocabulary in a practical way. Once you learn a new word, don't just memorize it, use it. The best way to make a word stick is by incorporating it into your speaking and writing. Write sentences with new words. Practice using them in different contexts. If you learn the word magnificent, you can write, "The view from the mountaintop was magnificent." Don't be afraid to try using your new words when you speak. Start with simple sentences and gradually increase the complexity. If you're practicing with a friend, ask them to correct your use of new words. This will help you use them properly in the future. Another great way to improve your vocabulary is by learning synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms are words that have the same meaning, and antonyms are words that have the opposite meaning. For example, synonyms for happy would be joyful, content, delighted. Synonyms for sad would be unhappy, sorrowful, gloomy. Synonyms for big would be huge, large, enormous. By learning synonyms and antonyms, you not only expand your vocabulary but also learn how to use words in different contexts. This will give you more variety when you speak and write. The final and most important step is to engage in real conversations. Practice is key when it comes to vocabulary. The more you speak and write in English, the more opportunities you'll have to use the new words you've learned. Start by speaking with friends, teachers, or language partners in English. Even if you make mistakes, it's the practice that counts. Writing short stories or journals using your new words can be a fun way to challenge yourself. Conclusion: expanding your vocabulary is not something that happens overnight, but with consistent practice, you'll see significant improvement. The key is to make vocabulary learning a daily habit. By reading, practicing new words in context, and engaging in conversations, you'll be able to expand your vocabulary and speak more naturally and confidently. Remember, don't just memorize words. Use them, play with them, and make them part of your everyday life. You have the power to unlock your English fluency through the words you know. Keep practicing, and soon enough, you'll have an amazing vocabulary at your disposal.